Whoa, we're back for some Bleach Soul Resonance, and we are here with a soft confirmation, soft reveal tease thing. I do not want this to read as like, what should I say? I don't want this to read as like, fully, this is exactly what's going to happen, but I will say that this is more legit than a lot of other hints and teases and leaks and stuff we've gotten in the past. So I'm going to show this, right? So if you don't want to be spoiled, don't look. All right, 3, 2, 1. It's SZA. I'm going to be calling him SZA throughout this video, like the artist, because I'm not saying SZA Lepedo for every single time I want to refer to this guy. So if you hear me say SZA, I mean this pink-haired guy right here, which is cool. It says no clue if he'll be support or DPS. I would expect him to be a support just because they say that they want to get around to alleviating the sort of like quote-unquote issues with every team. That said, it really could be anything. I mean, while I don't think it'll be a tactics character, a DPS or a support seem fine. I know some people are like, well, he can't be a DPS because Mayuri is a support and he fights Mayuri. I really don't think it matters. I think any character can be a DPS if you want them to be. It will just require, especially the Dankar who tend to have, transformations and all these things they do. It would kind of make sense for them to be more DPS leaning, more screen greedy. But that's just me. That's just me personally. If they want to make a support character out of this guy, I'm all for it. Supports will inevitably just make your characters and your account much better. But that's something I want to talk about. We're seeing a little bit of toxicity spring up in the community because people, this is something that we all have to be sort of responsible for as content creators when we talk about how strong certain characters are, or you must pull, or you must skip, or you must do this, or this is bad, and this is, we obviously contribute to it. But what I will say is, and let no one steer you otherwise, even myself, you have to do what's best for you. You have to do what's best for you all the time. I try to structure the way I speak about pulling and the way I speak about saving as if you don't know what you're going to do, if you're on the fence, and here's what I would do. Some people lose that in the discussion. I mean, the internet is a very aggressive place these days, and people don't really know how to talk about their opinions. People don't know how to talk about the things they would, inspire others to do or promote or what have you. So I do my best that when I'm like, hey, I wouldn't pull here, it's usually in the case of like, if you want the most efficient, bias, I guess, leaning way to approach this, you should probably do this. But if I said it with Geen, I was pulling on Geen whether he was awful or he was the greatest, right? Because I like Geen, he's my boy. For a lot of people, that's all that matters in these games, and I think that is something that is sort of inarguable. One thing I would say, for example, is I don't think that saving a million, skipping a million characters over and saving every single Jade you can is always the best choice, because then your account's going to be sort of anemic. You're going to be so focused, you're going to have such a power vacuum around a character that you sort of don't have anywhere else to go. This is why you even see people who like are saving for a Shunsui, are saving for a Blanket, this or that, a Quincy, a Yukitake, what have you. You'll see them still pull a little bit. They're still sort of picking up characters where they can, because once you get to that point where it's like, all right, I can finally pull, I'm going to B6 them in one go, you'll just look around you and be like, well, now what do I do? Because I have this really strong character, but I have nothing around him. I'm over here using Rukia. You know what I mean? So it does get to a point where you have to sort of think realistically. It's like, yeah, there is a fine line, there is a median, there is a middle ground where you do need to pull on characters while also being aware that a save should come at some point. We're coming up on Half Annie. We're coming up on Suifon. We have a Mayuri here who is very dupe independent. Not dupe dependent, but dupe independent. So he does not really need his dupes, at least to my knowledge. That's a very good thing, because it means that even at the low end, where you just manage to scrape by and get a Mayuri, he's still going to be really, really useful going forward. I think that, and this was happening a lot with the Nellel one, because, Bleach characters are all pretty cool, and I think that means that there's just a lot of characters that people have that are like their favorite. I don't think I see Nellel as being like someone's favorite character a lot of times. So a lot of people are like, can I just skip her? You know, I want the captains, I want the Arankar that are like in the Espada and things like that. And there's nothing wrong with asking that question. But if you ask me that question, I'm just going to give you a realistic answer. Hey, Nellel's going to make all of your characters better, at least to some degree. And if you really want to, you know, test that theory, maybe you even want to see her at dupe 2. Does that mean you have to get her at dupe 2? Of course not. But it does mean that we have the information. We know this to be true. And because we know this to be true, we can operate without sort of, you know, shit slinging in either direction, right? So as we sort of approach getting a character like SZA here, who is definitely not the coolest guy in the bunch. I mean, he's pretty fun. He's a fun character, but it'd be like me being like, okay, guys, we're gonna get that one fuck ass guy who's like the Espada or the Arankar of like love or lust or whatever, and he's that like that dude. And it's like, everyone pull on this. Make sure you pull on this guy. Make sure you use 12,600 jade on this guy and grab the weapon. And you know what? Get 4 dupes on him. And if you go, no, I don't think so, I don't like that guy, then it's not my job to then be like, oh, you never fucking listen and your account is going to be trash and terrible and you're the worst player. That's like, who cares? You know, you only need enough characters to do the content in front of you. We will at some point, and hey, they even dispelled this with the Q&A, but let's say theoretically we're going to at some point get content that you might need Yukatake for. Whatever he ends up being, you might need Yukatake. It might be one of those things where it's like, this guy is so important for, you know, getting the content done. I would have to then come on here and be like, hey, this is what you were doing all that saving for. This is the perfect time to full send it and pick up this character, maybe pick up a dupe or 2, you know, play within that free-to-play range, not really going to B4, B5 or anything. Just pick up him or a dupe or 2 dupes and get out of there. Right? That's the power of saving. Up until then, if you have Gin, Nellel, Yorahara, you know, Aizen, etc., you don't really need Mayuri like that. I think he's really good. And I think he's really good while Gin and Nell are still bugged together, which means that he only stands to get better. And I do think he's actually really good with a character like Kenpachi. So there's just all these things sort of working towards his favor that feel very positive. And because they feel so positive, it's hard not to come on here and sing the praises of a character, right? But it doesn't mean that, you know, you're getting hit with the other side of the sword. You know, it's fine. If your favorite character isn't really Mayuri and you think Soifon's coming up next and you think like SZA's coming up next or Yukitake, we know we're getting Grimjaw, we know we're gonna get a free-to-play Grimjaw as well, don't really worry about it. Don't worry too much about it. Your account will always feel better for, you know, having a healthy amount of characters, a healthy roster, having the option later on to maybe go for dupes when they reappear, things like that. But if it costs you the fun of saving for a character you know is coming soon, that you know you would have much more interest in getting dupe 1, dupe 2, I just don't know why you wouldn't make the choice that's best for yourself, right? I just don't know why you wouldn't make the choice that's best for yourself. It really ain't that deep. You don't need to shout at people because they're making what you deem to be a stupid choice. SZA's gonna come, and guess what? There's gonna be a lot of people going, I think I'm gonna save for Grimjaw. And those people are gonna be absolutely right. This character is marked to come right before Grimjaw. Are you telling me that you want SZA more than you possibly want a Grimjaw with 1 dupe or 2 dupes? Because that's really going to be the choice. Is you're going to probably get to pull for Soifon if you want her. And then this guy's coming. During the half Annie, we'll probably get more Jade than we've gotten, period. So that means that you're pretty set up to get at least 1 or 2 dupes maybe more if you're lucky, by skipping this one character. I'm not saying that you have to. I'm not saying that it's smart to. We don't know anything about this guy, DPS or support, you know? But for you guys out there who are looking at this guy and you're going, I don't really like this dude. Fine. Perfectly fine. Go ahead and get you a little skip. Go ahead and get you a big stack of jade, and you'll see just how fast you can get these hallmark characters. Me personally, now that we have this video teased, I'm not gonna lie, it's really tempting. It's very tempting to look at this as like the prime moment to be like, okay, I got my Yuri, I got his weapon, I want Soifon, I want her weapon, then maybe this is the skip. I've been saying all the time that free-to-plays will need one skip. At some point, they'll need one skip. Because when we're pulling, we're not just pulling the character, we're usually pulling the weapon too. And unless we get lucky, then, you know, it goes how it goes. So I look at him and I'm like, yeah, he might be the one. He might be the one for real. But we'll ultimately have to see how it goes, how it shapes out. If the publisher or Shueisha or whatever decides to fuck around with the Bleach Soul Resonance team again, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I just want to do some yaps about chill out on people. Really, genuinely chill out on people. No one's stupid because they skip a character in a video game. No one's the smartest player alive because they pulled for a character in a gacha game, you know? We're all dumb. We're playing gacha. Like, we are suckers. They got us. We're playing mobile games. Are you kidding me? I'm playing several. I'm playing this and Dokkan Battle. Ugh. Disgusting. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's gonna do it for me, though. Like, if you liked the video, subscribe to join the club. We all go make it, and peace.